Okay, sorry. The main aspect of research in psychology is development of ability to convert observation into numbers. The science which deals with the numbers is statistics. It processes the numbers and arranges them in a systematic way so that information can be interpreted. Yes, the interpretation provides the knowledge that help of the understand individuals. Computers have a major role to play in the statistical analysis. Various statistical packages are present too, which are interpretation the data. However, it is important to choose the right statistical tool and identify the actual usages, how to use. But it should not noted that is even with the help of the various statistical packages, many statistical techniques require a lot of previous knowledge and insight. Development Developments in computer technology are important in psychological research, although may current applications computer technology may current application for application technology in psychology, psychological education have focused on traditional testing and test scoring, traditional testing and test scoring, test scoring and research activities focus on the report generation. There is potential of application technology across the wide range of psychological measurements such as adult, children's, various behavioral disorders, and psychoeducation, mini mental status of examination. Moreover, moreover, okay. Importance of the statistics in psychological measurement. Statistics refers to numerical factors. It also significant of the methods of deal with the numerical factors. In order to word statistics is considered as a science of collecting, summarizing, analyzing, or interpreting numerical factors. It refers to the summarizing figures, numerical factors such as the percentage, average, mean, median, mode, and standard deviation. Importance of statistics in psychology. Psychology relies heavily on the statistical to help assess the meaning of the measurement. They make sometimes the measurement involve the individual who completed psychological test at other times. The measurement involved the statistical that described the general properties of the group people. In psychological testing, the psychologist may be interpreted testing result in the light of norms. The typical result provided from the previous testing in research, psychologists use the kinds of statistics, descriptive statistics and inferential statistics. Majorly descriptive statistics and inferential statistics to use the psychological researchers. Okay, descriptive statistics simply given a general pictures of scores in a given to group. Descriptive statistics is the term of given the analysis of the data that help of describe the show or summarizing data in a meaningful way. They do not, however, allow making the conclusion we and data we have analyzed are the research conclusions or reading findings hypotheses might to be made. They are simply way to describe our data. There are two type of statistics are used to describe data. They included the measures of central tendency and measures of variability. Central tendency involves the different kinds of averages, the mean, median, mode. Variability involves the Standardized deviation, which is the indicator for score in a group, are likely to be form of averages within variable to variable. Measures of central tendency. These are way to describing the central position of frequency distribution of the group data. In case of frequency distribution is simple of distribution and pattern make scored by the 100 students from the lowest to highest. We can describe the central position using the number of statistics, include the median, mode, and inferential statistics data. Measures of variability. This, these are ways of summarizing a group of data by describing how the separate out of the scores are out of the score out of from the measured score of 100 students may be 65 out of 100. However, not all the students will have be scored 65 marks. Rather than score will be separate out of the sum will be lowest and the highest measure of the separated help us the summarizing how the separate out this the score are. To describe this separated a number of statistics such as the range of quarterly absolute deviation, variance, and standard deviation. Inferential statistics. Inferential statistics taken the data from the sample and make interference about to the large population from which the sample was drawn because the goal of inferential statistics is to draw the conclusion from a simple and generalized them population. The difference between descriptive and inferential statistics are more, and also psychological research. One is confused with the vast amount of data, how to change in variable impact other variable, how to change the impact, the relation between relations impact. Okay, is there way measuring the relationship? What is the overall strength of the relationship and does not the mean statistical help to answer the kinds of questions. Thus, the psychological statistics use the major role following the reasons. Organizing data, statistics help the psychology to present data in way of the various easier to understand visual displays such as the graph, picture, chart, frequency distribution, and scroll raptors and bar diagrams. Research to together better overall the data look forward the pattern of the might otherwise missing. Okay, describing data. Okay. Describing data. When the researcher collect a great deal with information about a group of the people, statistics will be helpful accurately described the information. Descriptive statistics provided a way of summarizing what already exists in a given population, such as how many men and women there are, how many children are there, or how many peoples are currently employed. This is the descriptive. Okay, in detail. Making inferences based upon the data by using the what no inferential statistics research can be interfere things about a given sample of population. Psychology use the data they have been collected will be statistical analysis. Limitations of the statistics. Yeah. Although statistics has a very wide application in everyday life, as well as the behavioral science, physical, natural science, and certain limitations of the limitations as follows. Statistics deal with a aggregate of factors. It cannot be deal with the single observation. The statistical method to not given any recognition to an object or person or event isolated. This is the serious limitations of the statistics. Since statistics is science dealing with numerical data, it is more applicable to those the phenomenon which can be measured quantitatively. However, the techniques of the statistics analysis can be applied to qualitative phenomenon and indirectly by expressing the numerical with the help of the quantitative standardization. Statistical conclusions are truly averages. Mm. The statistical inferences may be not to be considered as a exact like inferences based on the mathematical laws. Therefore, ability to understand and communicate using the statistics enable to research from the different labels, different languages and different fixed expressions to one another to another expressions. Statistical packages. A statistical package is a software of collecting, organizing, interpretation, and presentation numerical information. The statistical package is a important in present day research because they complex. Okay. Complex, but Microsoft statistics. Sorry. Because of complex conclusions involved in the making inferences of the data. Statistics have been a powerful field of computer technology, have become a more advantageous and more widely used by the statistical packages in social sciences are Microsoft Excel and social SPSS. So SPSS in this statistical package are the essential available popularly used in print. Microsoft Excel View worksheet. It is a mainly it is a mainly it is a mainly use of data entry and various calculations can be carried out of the easy has been fast functions which is the help of the paste any formulation of the inbuilt of the functions and the usage of calculations. It can be used to create tables and graphs are properly summarized and organizing data. The interpretation of the data in MS Excel can be easily to copied and the pasted the many windows based on the program's further analysis. These programs is generally available with the all new computers, thus making it is easily to available for the statistical analysis. However, Excel sheet is not the statistical packages, but not the easy to availability. Many people, including the professional usages, deal with the quickly and easy based, but cannot be used the advanced statistics method. The statistical tool available Excel, including the ANOVA correlation, convergence, descriptive statistics, regression analysis, t-test and simple simpling analyzes, MANOVA, ANOVA, and some more extra test. Thus can be noticed the MX Excel can be to most of the common statistical calculations. Another important features of MX Excel is graphical presentation of the data. It has been built built-in factors so the create the graphic chart to several types of statistics. MS Excel bar chart, line charts and picture charts, scribes and bar diagrams, copy and paste with the documentation MS Excel. Okay. SPSS. Mm, Statistical package of social sciences refers to statistical package of social sciences. His package of developed by the late 1960s by there are Stanford University graduate student. It is a popularly because use of the unique features of the capability with the other windows based on the program. The the main features of SPSS is statistical coach. The statistics coach. SPSS are mentor of the statistical coach. Asked the questions. Mentor of the questions, but with the deal with the how to with the data. It is the future asking the questionnaire in our steps by suggestion the risk kind of the analyze of for the data. The other statistics tools available in the SPSS are descriptive statistics, t-test, paired sample t-test, ANOVA, correlation, regression, factor analysis, procedure, non-parametric test, reliability analysis of procedure extra. Role of the computers in psychology. The computer assistant psychology approaches become essential in all areas of psychology. Computers play in many important role in providing the psychologist with a tool and the capability to study human mind and human behavior. They are necessary to expand psychology research and therefore are present in almost all aspects of psychological practice, such as the organization psychology, legal psychology, educational psychology, clinical psychology, or even psychotherapy also. Initially, computer was used the processing of data, result of the assessment of psychological test. Large statistical programs were used to analyze the data. Presently, computers are necessarily in terms of the processing the result with psychological investigation, which is refers to establishing the significance level of the result. What is the significant level of the result? The area where computer application can be used, used have disadvantaged computer assistant technology in the field of psychology. I am following application. Administration of the psychological test subjective can be answered through the computer. Scoring the test through the computer applications. Generating the score for the variable assisted by the computer. Narrative, the interpretation of the report and the generation. Advantages of computers in psychological assessment. Computerized assessment to view the much of it is the recent growth and status to the unique advantages that is computers offer to take ask the psychological assessment. First, computers are the time and cost efficiency. Computerized report can be available shortly after the completion of the test administration, saving the vulnerable of professional time. Another advantages of usage of computers in a psychological assessment is there the accuracy in scoring. Computers are less subject to human errors in when the scoring. Third, computers provide the computers provide more objective and less based on the interpretation, minimizing the possibility of the selective interpretation of the data. The fourth advantage Fourth advantage, computerized report has that ability are usually more comprehensive and thorough to the manual reports. In a computerization of the interpretation, the task of the profiles is examine the comparison to the many and other profiles. Therefore, test information can be more accurately used the classified individuals while they describing the behavior, actions, and throughout the people with the simple profiles. Finally, computerized testing administration may be more interesting to some of the subject who may be also feel less anxious and responding the computer monitor that is the more personal context of the paper pencil test. While the advantage of computer assistance are the many, these methods are not totally probable free disadvantages. Some minor The first major problem associated with computerized administration, scoring, interpretation, misusing by the unqualified the major The computerized assistant may uh, uniformalize of encouraging by the professionals without adequate knowledge to experience. It is the important keep in your mind that is validity of the information obtained by the computerized. Psychological assessment can be ensured only in the hands of professionals with the adequate training of the experiences. Computerized assessment when used these are the while the little thinking or the skills in testing interpretation can do more harmful in the code. The second disadvantages computer assistant to is that the psychology might be excessively dependent on the computerized report and according to because the less active of interpersonal international data. Computerized report cannot be taken the place of importance clinical observation, which is the provide essential information for interpretation. Third problem of the misleading notice of the computerized generation assessment widely information that is necessary fact. It cannot be assumed that a computer's assessment generate generate the pieces of scientific statement that cannot be questioned. A critical review of such an interpretation is necessary for their collaborative usage. Fourth, computer statistics in a computer's report might not provide specific information about the task of useful for diagnostic purposes. For example, is the might feel of anxious answer certain questions such as the information can be helpful understanding the test later additions of result. Finally, a computerized report might include statement that is not applied to even patient. It can be important to keep in your mind. Computer report are the general description of the profile. It is quite possible that involved with a similar professionals will not present all these characteristics identified by a particular profiles. It is now on the psychologist to be established, truly test and reported each individual client. The immeasurable role of the computers with both of advantages and disadvantages cannot be detained of the field of psychological assessment. It is very important in modern research psychology. Okay, this topic is completed. We'll go to another topic. Okay. Just a minute. Okay, sorry. This is very large topic. Intelligence test. The test of intelligence. Yeah, what is intelligence? Intelligence is a capacity of learning. Okay, human intelligence is the intellectual power of human. Human intelligence is the intelligent power of human, which is a result of complex cognitive function and high level of motivation and self-awareness. Intelligence can be a human to remember the descriptive of things and use those in the future behavior. As it is a cognitive process. It gives human and cognitive abilities to learn from the concept of understand and reason. This included the capacity to recognize the pattern, comprehensive ideas, plan, solve the problems, and usage of the language to communicate. Intelligence to enable human to experiences and think most of the process applied to be intelligence of non-human animals. Thus, intelligence is the ability to think, to learn from experiences, to solve the problem, and to adapt to a new situation. Believe that psychology believe psychology believe that there is a constructive known as intelligence test that account of overall differences intelligence among the people through the brain process. The underlying the intelligence are not completely understood. Thus, current research has focused on the four potential factors, four potential factors: brain size, sensory adaptability, speed and efficiency of neural transmitters, and working memory capacity. This is the most important in the uh, factors of the intelligence factors. These are four factors. Okay. Definitions of intelligence. Many definitions in the your textbook, but we will discuss some more definitions. Some definitions only. Yes. The typical dictionary of definition of intelligence, dictionary definition of intelligence, the capacity to acquire acquire and apply knowledge to, to acquire a dictionary definition. Acquire knowledge and application. Intelligence included the ability to benef- benefit from past experience, act of purposeful, solve the problem, and adapt to new situation. In this understand capacity to acquire and application knowledge acquire టు పాస్ట్ మీరు ముందు ఎప్పుడైనా మీరు సంపాదించినటువంటి నాలెడ్జ్ అక్వైర్ చేసినటువంటి నాలెడ్జ్ టు అప్లైడ్ ఎక్కడ నీకు ఎక్కడైనా ప్రాబ్లం ఎక్కడైతే ఏర్పడింది అక్కడ ఓకే ఆల్ఫ్రెడ్ బినెట్ డెఫినేషన్ ఇంటెలిజెన్స్ యాజ్ జడ్జిమెంట్ otherwise known as good sense, practical sense, and intuitive. It is the factual of adapting oneself to circumstances. Intelligence is a general capacity of an individual's consciously to adjust to his thinking to new requirement. This is the most important definition. Okay. Intelligence is a general capacity of individuals consistently adjusted to think a new environments. The famous writer H.G. Wells defined as a acting in a novel situation. It is a narrational situation. Stephen David Westler defined intelligence as aggregate or global capacity of individuals to act purposefully, think rationally, and deal effectively with the environment. This is the most important definition in the intelligence is very general mental capacity that among the and another thing involve the ability to reasoning, plan, solve the problem, thinking abstractly, comprehensive complex ideas, and quickly learning from the experiences. It is the intelligence most important capabilities. And ability to learn in the intelligence. Hey, the ability to demand in the solution of problems which is the required the comprehensive and use of the symbols. It is word of the numbers diagrams equivalent of the formula grade Garrett. The most recent definition Dr. K.S. Simons is certain criteria set of the cognitive capacity enable an individual adapting their way any governing environment. Given environmental or field of themselves, those are cognitive capacity include the things like memory and retrieval problems of solving. There are clustered of cognitive abilities. This lead of successful adaptation widely range of environment is this. This intelligence has been defined in many ways, and the underlining of same that way is capacity from logical understanding, self-awareness, learning, emotion, knowledge, reasoning, planning, creativity, and circumstances, critical thinking, and problem solving, emotional intelligence play a role. Okay. Measuring intelligence, standardization and intelligence quotient. Okay. The the goal of the most intelligence test is measure G factor, general intelligence factor. Cluster this Carl Pearson was the pioneer of this theory. Underlining the disappearing cognitive task is the single general intelligence factor, which is called G factor. In the normal population, G and IQ are roughly 90% correlation. The strongly correlation mean of issue known as the IQ score you can be used of which is the highest level of the accuracy predict their G factor and also predict their G factor wise of various. As the result, how to terms of the option increasingly good intelligence test to be reliable, consistent over time, and also demonstrative constructive validity, meaning of they are actual measuring intelligence rather than some easily. Further, intelligence changes of the age essential understand intelligence. Essential intelligence by using the norms and standardization given population given age. The standardization of the involve of the large number of population, different ages and computing the average scores. Final effect of reference observation on the score of intelligence worldwide have the increasing the substantial cost decreases. The average increasing about to 3 intelligence IQ point to every 10 years or average many explanation of the flaming of effective, including the better nutrition, increased create of information about more familiar to multiple choice test is not multiple test and elimination of the process of test. One is the picture is the average ability of the people different ages of the essential cluster persons mental age which the person performing the intellectual IQ is mental age MJ by CJ into 100. MJ in mental age, CJ mean chronological age into 100. Type of test. The intelligence tests are classified into naturally two types. One is verbal test and non-verbal test. Administrative paper pencil test and non-paper pencil test. Group test and individual test. Administrative purpose is two types. One is individual test, another one is group test. And category wise is verbal and non-verbal test. Individual versus group test. Okay. Individual group test. The first of we are the separated individual test. It is the can be said of individual test be administered only one person to at a time. The average group of the 2 years of 18 years. The test is the scale required the responses of the examining the increase of manipulation materials, okay, batteries, intelligence test, Western intelligence scale, mini mental health examination set, mental scholastic achievement test, Binesh Anford intelligence test, Raven's focus matrix test. These tests are made usage of the individual test versus group test. The following of the paragraph describe the two tests of the purely individual nature. There was the developed by the intelligence population. It is include following the subtest, Cohet block test, Alexander Pasaline test, pattern drawing test, and immediate memory, picture completion test and picture frustration test. These mere objectives of the test measuring intelligence, children's less educators and illiteracy is most of the having obtained by the boys and girls 16 years later. Okay. Cohest block, Cohest block design test. Subtest of the including the design sub-presentation. 10 colors, 10 colored blocks. Each block colored white, red, yellow, and blue. Four side of the one side of the block have half red and half is white, half is other side is yellow, half is blue. It is the yellow designed given by the cards and also shown as the subject. Subject asked the constructively same design with help of the booklet. The first five designs are basic, be completed within a 2 minutes, and remaining diagnosis 3 minutes. Performance is not based on the slowly, it is as fast as accuracy and examining the examiner's behavior include the factors such as the attending levels of self-criticism. Alexander Pasternak test. This is movement and block design test. Alexander Pasternak, this test material is the aging is in the there are different shape, size, and two colors that is red and blue. They are subject presentation in opposite instructed from the designed movement and pieces of the different life them. The first fourth is given by the 2 minutes time. Completed the rest of the four should be completed within the 3 minutes. Okay. Pattern drawing. This pattern drawing is in Bharat, Bharat. This test was include the 8 cards, even cards of pattern, such is asked to the draw same designing, lift the paper pencil of the paper pencil. First four cards are given by the 2 minutes time limit, but another is rest of the 3 minutes time. Immediate memory. This is the test two parts: digit span, forwarding, forward, and digits of backward. Digits in span of attention, digits of forwarding and backward. Therefore, this test taker is the required the represent numbers of examiner says the number digits increasing every trials is consistent continue the factor of same 1 by 16 in a minute. Digits same order. This digit span of forward backward recalling the numbers representative backward position from the first of the last. Picture construction test. The required the subject is pictures is given by the part two part. The early meaningful combination of structured pictures. For completion, the first two pictures time limit 2 minutes and their rest three pictures of the time limit 3 times. Is not found in the group test. Group test. Group test. Group tests at their birth in American. Group test hard in their birth in American. When the intelligence of the require the joined army in the First one was the clustered. These tests are developed to meet present critical need. Group test can be group test can be administered to persons at a time. They can administer adolescent group can be adolescent adolescent participant. Group test can be administered a group persons where they at a time adolescent adult. The test typically characterized prepared prepare paper and pencil examination. However, the computer proof testing increasing become more popular, more popular. The test might be the test might be consistent of multiple choice format, but so all, including sense of computers are writing easy under favorable administration. Favorable administering conditioning. These are the reliable and have a predictive validity. These are Army Alpha and Beta, Thurman group test, and what is self-administrative test. Army Alpha, AAT, Army Beta, ABT, wide usage measuring intelligence, shoulder, literature. How the how we are convergent in English language. Moreover, distractive versions of the AAT BAT was created and around the World War II, called the Army General Classification Test. It consists of four subjects: verbal ability, spatial comprehension, computation, and arithmetic reasoning. Scoring was done by the similar manner Stanford Binet test. Okay, average score up to 100 to standard 20. Similar classification test was developed by the Novel Wing. This test known as the Novel General Classification Test (NCCT). All classification test. Okay, verbal test. Verbal mean to vocal sound. Okay, verbal test are the linguistic in the natural the measuring the ability to person. Okay. Ability to of the person understanding and logically work with the concept of problems and extensional words. There are there is a need for the test taker to the literature take verbal test. The different types of operations followed by the people to solve the reasoning problems are six statements that expressions adjustment, opinion, and factor absolutes meeting. A proportion can have to be true statement, but it is done have be a statement that is empirically are either true or false using the data premise. A proposition will be justifying or including conclusions in, in other words of promises of assumption, something of true. Syllogisms. An argument of the consistency of premises in order to arrive the true or validity symbolic also depend on the truthful or the factual of the premises. Verbal analogy. Common variations of between two subjects are concept based on their relations similar. An example average analogy a car to gear like the ship to sampling task. The early explanation Army Alpha Beta where most of the premises test being a group testing. Spearman construct group test which consists of the current casually but prepared them. Test composition large number of selection, which is a selection large number of problems on a particular kinds of is group test comparison 50 same opposition problem 30 statement completion 50 same of the position problem 30 statement completion problem 30 mixed standard 20 analogies 18 reasoning problems result test or performance test non-verbal non-verbal test is the whether the language usage only for instructed, however, the value from the paper pencil test or some material manipulating. The material usage of the manipulation is called the performance test. Okay, material usage the performance test. A performance test requires a little or no usage of language the test material are designed to elicit of manual behavior responses rather than verbal ones. Okay. These tests are administered to both literate and illiterate persons, and they generally involve the construction of the certain patterns of solving problems in treatment of the consistency of material. Performance tests are set the culture free based on this can be used of the people how to have speech and hearing difficulties are also suitable for the both to children and adults. Based on the nature of the test material is whether the material is in the from of the booklet or some of the material was used to taken the problems. Okay. Some are intelligence test. Intelligence test. Many intelligence Stanford did an intelligence test. In this topic, some subtest. Just wait. about some group nonverbal test, the Raven's progress matrix test. Progress matrix test. Within this progress matrix test is three types. One is colored progress matrix test. Another one is standard progress matrix test. Finally, advanced progress matrix test. Advanced progress matrix test. This color progress matrix test is to usage of the children's child basis, that means 5 years to 11 years. In this, A2 or E pattern, every item is through every item in some minimal matrix test. Matrix means to fill in the particular aspect of pattern. In the pattern, one bit is missing. Missing bit is given below. The client was identified the missing bit in correct answer below given below answer. They fill the answer sheet. This is the pattern type. Same standard progress matrix test. It is the same as a type. So advanced progress matrix test. It is the set of 36 items. Each every item is the most. It is simple to complex usage of the subtest. Individual non-verbal performance test. It is RPM is the group and also individual test. It can be. And individual non-verbal test is from farm board test F50. Farm board test is size of the block design correspondingly defined as the size of farm board of the switch is the most black point.